today we're gonna react to really bad, really annoying and fake TikToks of people. The watches are most probably fake, to be honest. But you know what? A period of time I didn't see much fake, and now it's like fake is on the rise again. Don't put that in this time. If you do that, I will knock your in. Anyway, before we get into the video, make sure you subscribe to the channel. I would like you to subscribe to the channel. So have a look. Have you subscribed yet? No. Then subscribe. I need it. You need it. We need it. The world needs it. You need to subscribe and know where your dog lives.
Can we please just get to 2 million subscribers?
Yeah, before 2050 or something. Just subscribe. It would mean a lot to me and to Johnny. Please. Thank you. You buy your watches at prideandpinion.com. What am I wearing? The 5167R. It's a useless watch, to be honest. Prideandpinion.com, that's where you buy your watches. I want to buy your watch. And if you want a job, I'm looking for salespeople, I'm looking for editors, I'm looking for videographers and photographers and HR people, and I'm looking for... What else am I looking for, Johnny? We're looking for you. Do not email me if you're from India. It's pointless to apply when you do not live in the UK and not willing to relocate. Don't apply. Let's get stuck in the video!
Look, I'm just letting you know they only make 1 million Rolexes every year. You got to get on a waiting list for them, you heard? So if you see somebody pop out with a Rolex that's 2026, 2025, brand new, that shit fake, you heard? I ain't gonna lie, you got to get on a waiting list for them bitches.
I can confirm, without a shadow of a doubt, I'll put my net worth on it. My cat, not my dogs, because I love my dogs too much. I don't give a f about my cat. Big CGZ, the cat is my wife's, by the way. But big CGZ, so I f***ing told her not to bring that f***ing cat in. When she moved in with me, back in the day, she brought the f***ing cat, didn't want it. But big CGZ certified is wearing a fake watch.
Yeah?
Yeah, the guy's fake. And looks like he smoked too much pot.
Casio.
A tier.
Seiko.
S tier. Arguably the...
What was S's top, yeah?
Yeah, for some reason.
A, B, C, D, okay.
Timex.
A tier.
Hamilton.
B tier.
Swatch.
S tier.
Citizen.
Citizen. B tier.
Orient.
C tier.
Invicta.
C tier.
I find this a really weird watch list. Hamilton out of nowhere. Timex, Casio, like there's so many more brands in between. Swatch, Timex, like what, Orient.
C tier.
Invicta.
Hamilton doesn't, like why is Hamilton on that list? It's such a random, all these brands are quite affordable, let's put it that way. And Hamilton is like the first entry into the more expensive watch. Not the first. There's Tissot in between. Tissot's cheaper than Hamilton. This is such a random weird list. Doesn't make sense.
Do you agree with him?
Casio needs to go to S. Swatch is on S. Timex is on A. I like that. Hamilton should be S. In comparison, that road should be S. Orient should be D. Invicta should be D. And Timex should be B.
What's your beef with Orient?
It's just a copy. They make homage watches and stuff. It's pretty like.
Did you just swivel that can to show the monster logo?
No, I didn't do
I
that.
thought you were doing a front tail or something.
No.
What do you think is the worst watch for someone to buy? I'd say that two-tone old Rolex. Unless you're in a club in Connecticut, that watch ain't gonna impress nobody, man. So you might as well get yourself some Gucci and put some diamonds in it, or Apple Watch or some or you could customize some other I really wouldn't want to buy that.
We Traxy, son. I don't really share that opinion, but Trax is not really a watch guy, he's a jewelry guy. I have never really impressed any girl with a watch, I don't think. I wore a Richard Mille and they look at me as a G-Shock. Like, it doesn't matter. My factory set day with a pavé dial and factory set bezel, I did get some comments on that because it's really flashy. Other than that, I've never really impressed anyone with any watch. But like a two-tone Datejust, older gen, is a good entry point. 16233. And if you don't like gold and steel, I would go for the 16234. Can you put them up? And then that comes in several different dial configurations. I think you should buy a watch not to impress anyone. I think you should buy a watch to impress yourself, like use that as motivation and as a trophy. A watch is a trophy. That's what it is. I like if you buy a watch as a trophy, just as an achievement. I've done well. Gone through school, got my first job, got this, finally got laid. You know yourself. like you want it as a trophy.
If someone came to you and said, I have no idea about watches, but I've got money saved up, I want to buy a cool one as a commemoration for
Getting laid for the first time.
what would you say?
Depends what budget. You have the erotica watch as well, by the way, by Julius Nagla. They're crazy, but you need a wee bit more money for
They
that.
do an erotic watch?
Yeah, like naked woman, like with her legs
Back in the
spread.
day, or were they...
No, they have it on their website now. I swear, go to Julius Nagla. It's class. Get it blurred out before we get absolutely hammered with sexual images and shit. That would be cool, but like, it all depends on budget, mate. Like, and nowadays you can't buy a bad watch unless you buy Invicta or Hublot. So I don't want to, like, you can't buy a bad watch, really.
The reason I don't buy AP watches, the reason I don't want a McLaren over a Lambo, is because girls don't know. A girl knows what a Lambo is. She knows what a Rolex is. She might not know what the McLaren is. She might not know what an AP is. You know, when you're driving a car that costs more than a house, let's not bullshit that this is also a status. Putting the top down in that Lamborghini and driving really fast, that shit is
I don't know who he is.
He was in that Manosphere documentary with Louis Theroux. You see that?
No? Isn't he good?
It's interesting, yeah.
What is his name?
Justin Waller.
The reason I don't buy AP watches, the reason I don't want a McLaren over a Lambo, is because girls don't know.
The reason why I don't buy AP watches is because girls don't know. I feel he's a wee bit like an Andrew Tate from Wish.com, a really poor variant, like the cheapest one. If you search Andrew Tate on Temu and then you have a price bracket, you search it from low to high, you get hit. Know what a Lambo is and a Rolex is.
He's also married with kids, and he's saying this.
Yeah, we have different values, mate. I'm a family man that hustles his bollocks off. Who the are you, mate? You're a flag waver. You're the guy that waves flags. Look at me, look at me, look at me. I need attention. I don't sell courses, mate. I don't know, Jay. What is his name? Jay Waller?
Justin Waller.
Justin Waller. If you want to buy a watch, you're more than welcome. But I think I closed that door. Surely he didn't say it like that. It must be cut and all put together, or AI. You can't be a knobhead like that because girls don't know I don't buy it. I know he done this just to get clicks and get people to talk about it. I respect it. Well, he's just secretly a family man with kids and shit. This is all just for clicks. Well done. He doesn't believe that, for sure.
Putting the top down in that Lamborghini and driving really fast, that shit is fun.
In one of my cars, which is a convertible Ferrari, I always thought I wanted a convertible until I had a convertible. When you open the roof, the sun shines on your head. It's the worst thing in the world. And you get sunburned. It's the worst thing in the world. The only moment it could potentially be handy or nice is when it's night in Dubai. It's been a warm day, you open the roof and then annoying because your hair is all over the place and the girl that you have next to you also has the hair all over the place. It's not great, a convertible, so I don't know what this guy is talking about. Andrew Tate from Wish.com.
How much is this one?
This one is 12,000.
No way. 12,000?
No, rupees.
12,000 rupees?
Yeah, rupees.
Bro, that's like $100. That's a really good deal.
Oh,
my dad bought the same one for
Indian
33,000
rupees.
dollars.
Oh, dollar, very expensive.
Wait, how did they get retail prices?
Ripped off this whole time. Bro, I'll give you this watch for 5.
No.
Two.
Not change. Not change.
Dude, you have APs.
How much real? Not real, all master copies.
What do you mean not real? What does not real watches mean?
Copy, yani same to same, real looking.
Same,
real,
but different, a little bit different.
Quality.
That is fantastic. I want to do that. I want to try to sell a real watch for prices to them and see if they buy it. How class would that be?
I bet one of my kidneys that you've seen this watch brand before.
Is this an Italian watch brand a scam? That is a that's Nico.
Yeah.
That one.
Venezianico.
Did we get a parcel from this Venezianico?
Yeah.
Belter! We got a watch. Is that watch?
I think it might be, yeah.
Yeah? That's class. Let me see. When we saw them at the show, right? That's the same watch.
Is it?
That's a belter. When we saw them at that show in Dubai Watch Week, I was so impressed. It was actually nuts. The bracelets are class, the dials are super nice. Let me detach this. Fair play. What does he say?
It's Venezianico, an Italian watch brand producing some of the most attractive watch designs I've ever seen come out of a micro brand.
Genuinely, mate, this is class. That's a nice watch. If you say this is not a nice watch, you should buy Grand Seiko next time.
Let me see.
Look at that. How good of a profile is that? And let me say one thing. Really important thing. It's quite difficult to stand out in a different type of design or different type of style. I am so done with Christopher Ward. You have no idea. And I know some of the people are super nice, but I'm done with Christopher Ward ripping designs and stealing full-blown designs from other brands. Christopher Ward stole a lot of attributes from the Antarctique. Sapex Antarctique. Like, I think it's such a scumbag move, it's mad. This is unique. I'm really liking that. Fair play. Love the dial, love the watch. Still can't pronounce the name, but we'll work on that.
Did you first hear about them this year at the watch show?
No, I've heard of them before. At the show's the first time I actually held one, and I was like, that's actually really nice. That is actually nuts. So after the Do I Watch show, when we made that video, well, we didn't make a video, but we made a video and I featured them. How cool is that? Like, it feels like a proper watch. How much does this retail at?
It's 800 euros.
800 euros? Well, that's not bad. They said they were really happy with that and really grateful, and they sent me a watch. Watch right. So this is the first time I actually see it. So I've been back in Belfast for 2 weeks, so I'm actually going to size this myself later on. I hope, for the love of me, that these are not no, they're screws. Oh, you know what I find so cheap with brands? Where they're pins. You need to like, that's cheap. So many micro bands try to, like, you save a few quid on the bracelet if you use pins instead of screws. And so many micro bands are trying to, like, don't think that details like that are important. And I'm happy to see that they actually look at that type of detail. But look at the watch. How good is that? How much is this? Any idea?
I actually don't know.
Put a website or something on there or whatever. Class. Venezianico, thank you, lads. I appreciate you. Lovely watch.
You can't really call them a micro brand anymore. I would say this is more Christopher Ward level. One thing that they do really well is their dials. I mean, just look at them. Coupled with their rather attractive logo, they give me really strong Vacheron.
Well, you can call it a micro brand, and you will call it a micro brand, and you cannot compare that with, well, maybe you can. I don't know Christopher Ward that well. All I know is that they're trying to rip off one of my favorite watches in the whole world, and I hate them for it. This is the thing about Christopher Ward, mate. They've made that Bel Canto, and that was a class move. And it got so many people so much love for Christopher Ward. Like, what a great job that was. If I go to Christopher Ward right now, they blatantly ripped with the C12 logo. They blatant copied Sapec, which is a disgrace. They blatant copied the case of the Antarctique. I am raging about that. Love the watch, appreciate that. I'm not going to give this away to any of you because I want to keep it. Thank you.
If you don't have budget for Rolex, Omega. If you don't have budget for Richard Mille, don't buy Hublot, buy Fuller. If you don't have budget for Gégé Lacouture, Cartier. If you don't have budget for Gruber Frucy, don't buy Jacob & Co, buy Beauvais. Agree. If you don't have budget for Patek Philippe, Gerard Charles. If you don't have budget for a Lange Zune, if you don't have budget for Audemars Piguet, Grand Seiko. If you don't have budget for Vacheron,
I was agreeing on a few things like
Vacheron, IWC. Thank you.
Don't buy Hublot, buy Frank Muller, correct.
Budget for Gégé Lacouture, Cartier.
That doesn't make sense because Cartier is more expensive than Gégé Lacouture.
If you don't have budget for Gruber Frucy, don't buy Jacob & Co, buy Beauvais. Agree.
And Beauvais is more expensive at retail, I think, but you can pick them up very cheap pre-owned. But Beauvais is just, yeah, it's dead.
If you don't have budget for Patek Philippe, Gerard Charles. If you don't
like that, I really like Gerard Charles. I think it's really cool.
You wear yours flat out?
Yeah, but that is my golf watch. Basically, they made the tennis watch. Love that watch. I have a skeleton as well, and I use that for golf. It's class.
If you don't have budget for a Lange Zune, if you
Lachute, really good. Well done.
If you don't have budget for Audemars Piguet, Grand Seiko.
He's been I think he's been forced to say that. I think the Japanese samurai sword guys came to in his house to really say that. How can it even be in the same line?
If you don't have budget for Vacheron, IWC. Thank you.
Like that? Fair enough. Can I have your attention, please, for a very important announcement? We are launching another watch. Exactly the same time as last year. I've listened to you, right? This watch is insane. The previous watch, the Jump R, I was incredibly proud because I was able to tell a story and educate you guys about the digital watch, the Jump R. But this year we're gonna bring it another level. For me, anyway, the best watch launched, for sure, hands down, without a shadow of a doubt, of 2026. First link in the description now to make sure you do not miss out on the news prior to this watch actually launching. Thank you very much for your attention. This was a very important message. I don't know who he is. Who the are you, mate? You're a flag waver.
Lift or dump, watch edition. Rolex Submariner is always a lift. It's your first piece, lift and lift early. Rolex Daytona, congratulations, you made MD. Lift, keep it for a couple years, and then dump it. AP Royal Oak, come on baby, I gotta talk my own book. That's a lift. Patek Philippe Nautilus, kinda played out, kinda overpriced, but I still love it. I'm lifting that. Casio's a lift. I'm all about that. Great value, great piece. Richard Mille, the biggest dump I can do. Richard Mille. Guys, who cares?
Until you have one on your wrist, until you own one, then your balls just grow massively. And you know you're the daddy. When you walk into the airport lounge, everyone is looking at you. Everyone is looking at you thinking, oh, that's a fake Richard Mille. And then they look at your bag and I'm like, that bag costs 40 grand. I don't believe that watch is fake. And they realize you're the daddy. The Mac Daddy. And you know what? I'll have one out of JW's book, or whatever his name is. What was his name again?
Justin Waller.
Justin Waller's book. The women do know what Richard Mille is.
Watch brands as car brands. Seiko's gotta be Toyota. Dependable, affordable, made in Japan, and was a serious threat to its Western alternatives in the 70s and 80s, which makes Grand Seiko the perfect analogy for Lexus.
Couldn't agree more.
Spin-off of its parent company, on paper competes very well with its European counterparts, but in my opinion, just doesn't quite feel as special.
We just rephrase that. I'm gonna be a tech bell to Grand Seiko fanboys. What is it with these Grand Seiko fanboys? Every time I put something up about Grand Seiko, they're it's more, whatever. What is the crack with that? Their sole thing, the one thing that connects the people that buy Grand Seiko is they all want to on Rolex. But everyone that buys a Rolex looks at Grand Seiko and like, where the would I even talk about that? You see what I mean? It's actually hilarious.
Alternatives in the 70s and 80s, which makes Grand Seiko the perfect analogy for Lexus. The luxury spin-off of its parent company, on paper competes very well with its European counterparts, but in my opinion, just doesn't quite feel as special.
This guy gets it. It competes very well, but it isn't just as special as its counterparts. Thank you very much. Comment section, do your thing.
Rolex is Mercedes. Leader in its class, the most well-recognized symbol of luxury, while still being mass-produced, but recently maybe losing a bit of its mojo by trying to keep too many people happy and stay in the spotlight. And this one's definitely a bit more niche, but I can't think of a better analogy for Universal Genève than Lancia. Put out some of the most revolutionary, well-designed pieces in their heyday, but since have been chopped up, scrapped out, and sold for parts by some parasitic VC firm. Let me know if you want to see a part 2.
Couldn't agree more with this entire list, but we're now going to see the rebirth of Universal Genève on the 13th of April, I think. Looking forward to that.
What did they do?
Rebirth. So Breitling bought Universal Genève, completely rebooted the brand, which they deserved. I had several Universal Genèves throughout the years. I had the best Unicompax left in the world, one of the most beautiful watches ever created. And then after that, there was a period of absolute dog shit. But we're going to see something big time, and I'm really looking forward to that. As well as that, can I just point out, I'm launching a watch. Remember the jump bar? Well, something new is coming. You want to be on that waiting list. Or, it's not a waiting list. It's like a register.
We have a link for that?
Yeah, put the link in. This watch is worth it. This watch is nuts. This is probably the best thing I've ever done in my life.
What's the best watch for someone to buy? Patek Philippe. It's Audemars Patek. Rolex is new money. It's you first got money and you're buying yourself a Rolex. But Audemars and Patek is the one that they're gonna know. What if you're on a budget?
What is his name again?
Justin Waller.
Just not say that AP nobody knew, or the women did, and yeah. He genuinely is from Wish.com, isn't he?
It was two-tone, they just, but you're talking about something from the 90s. Yes. Once you get out of the 10s and you 10 to 15 and stuff like that, you're gonna get the Hulk, the exclusive one.
It's funny when you see a video then popping up with a fake Rolex. I don't know who cut that, but that watch is not real.
That's when you're actually a watch.
That watch is not real. Who's your man called with the coffee? He's in Vegas, isn't he? Your man,
Graham
short
Stephan.
guy, Graham Stephan, legend. I'm in Vegas on the 17th, 18th, 19th, 20th, 21st. Anyway, I'm going to be a week in Vegas, commencing the 17th. If you want to hang out, give me a buzz. Short people, assemble.
When you're wearing a Hulk or a Pepsi or a Batman, you don't know if that's your Sunday watch or your only watch. Even me, a customer walks through the door and they got the right watch on. I'm like, yes, sir, how can I help you?
Oh, I've seen this. Johnny, I seen this, that was class. Kind of made me emotional. So basically the gig is here, right? His parents-in-law or his girlfriend's parents bought them, watch it, that's not his real dad, that's his dad of his girlfriend. And they bought him a Rolex, class.
Yeah. Happy birthday. What is it? Oh no. Oh shit. Oh my god. There's no way.
Open it!
Right now. Oh my god. I feel like I'm gonna cry. Oh my god. Really. Holy shit. Dude, I'm like shaking right now. Dude, I'm like freaking out. So the camera's thank you so much.
That is real f***ing class. I f***ing love that.
You deserve it, mate.
I f***ing love it. And this dad, you deserve it. Unbelievable. Well done. He will never forget that. Now he also can't really f***ing dump. Do you see what I mean? Nah, that was just a joke, but f*** me, fair play, I love that. I want to see more like that. Anyway, Johnny needs to go to the toilet, so we need to stop the video. Thank you very much for watching prideandbeing.com, and you don't want to miss out on the new Grand to Know. I made a watch, Johnny, a big one. Hello, you still on? I don't know. Where's this clip? I don't know. If you don't want to subscribe, don't subscribe. Just f*** off.